Welcome back, everybody, to Spikes and Heels, Week 2. My name is Sabrina.
And my name is Gwen.
And this week we have a lot to talk about. We're going to start off the show with hot topics. Then we're going to move on to recapping the Redskins season up to the bye week. And then we're going to go into our Football for Beginners segment to teach you some things. We're going to start off with Ryan Kerrigan. Gwen, tell me what's going on with Ryan.
Bruh, come on, Sabrina.
I know. What did he do? For all the viewers who don't know, what is happening with Ryan?
Benny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He has been a pivotal and an instrumental part of defense. Mm-hmm. I remember when he first came, a rock pole was on one end, he was on one end. He was outshining a rock pole. I don't know what happened, but the next season, a rock pole was gone. So Kirkin has been our most influential, to me, stand out defensive player on defense, correct?
Right.
So now they get these pieces. They get the Bama boys. That's what we call them because they from Alabama. They get 2 Bama boys, and now they got Chase Young. Now they starting to jail. Now this Bama, outside of the Bama boys, talking about he ain't getting enough reps or he ain't getting enough play. Isn't that what you do in the team? Like, this ain't basketball or this ain't baseball when you go up to the mound to bet for yourself. You have to work together. And so if let them get some reps in to get familiar with it, and then y'all can switch out. But you need some help, homie, and because all this time he haven't been able to do it by himself. And to me, the defense looks more complete now with these added pieces.
Absolutely.
I just said last week, they starting to look like a team.
Yes.
Damn.
On one hand, I do see his point. You know what I mean? He's the longest tenured Redskin that I can think of. He's suffered through so many bad seasons, and now you're bringing in these other people, and now you're demoting him after he's gone through all this stuff. It's like, give me my just due. But, like you said, also there's an aspect of let's be a team player. So I can see both sides. I just hope he can calm it down, and we can stay together. I really do.
One more. We're going to keep this. We're going to keep it moving, but one more thing, Sabrina. Mm-hmm. I get it what you're saying, but he needs help. All this time we haven't, been able to get where we are on defense, and I feel like let these other people come in and be a part of the full play, because I feel like Trent left and we lost a piece. Now he gonna leave and he wants out. And do you really want to play with somebody that wants out? Or is this person going, because the check is cut, he gonna get paid. Do you really want somebody on your team that wants out? Okay. I'm just, that's where I am. Like, if you want to leave, leave. Yeah. But, I just, as soon as we get the pieces together, now he come on, miss me with all of this. I ain't getting enough rep stuff. Let's go.
I agree.
We a couple of pieces away from being contenders. Let's go.
Get out. Don't be selfish now. I agree.
Amen.
All right.
I inadvertently last week forgot that the Raiders are now in Las Vegas. So this is a disclaimer that California only has 3 teams now, not 4.
Right.
So they're tied with Florida with the most teams.
All right, so next up, we're going to talk about Mr. Antonio Brown. He is back in the league, everybody. I didn't know if that was going to happen. He's back, and he is with Mr. Tom Brady once again, but with the Buccaneers. And what else did you learn about him? Where is he staying?
I think he's with the Bucs now. He's actually staying with Tom, so he didn't start today in their win today, but he will be starting next week. I thought they were going to wait a while because his personal issues haven't been all the way sorted out. There was some issues about some charges that were still pending, so I'll look more into that. But I'm just going to say, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for taking this dude back.
But you don't think they should have done it?
Sabrina, Tom is looking for weapons. He's used to working with people that's gonna help him win. I get it. And Anton AB is a phenomenal wide receiver, but I'm just afraid. Like they said, he was in great physical health. He looked good. So but the drama that's gonna come with it. Who catches a hot air balloon ride to practice and you think the person is in their right mind. Come
Listen,
on.
that's
Oh my God. I can't.
I have tears in my eyes.
Come on, Sabrina. He got out there blue rides and practically with the Raiders. I was like, oh, this dude went out. But okay.
Wait, but I think I think that's why Tom said you're gonna live with me, because he's gonna be oh
Okay.
So Tom's gonna make sure that he does the right thing, and everything's gonna work out well. We're gonna watch next week when they play the Saints. We're gonna watch.
Good luck with that.
And put in the comments if you think AB is going to succeed, if you think it's going to walk the straight and narrow.
Now, I'm going to be honest. He's going to produce, but in his production is but his personal life outshine this. And you don't want him and Tom to jail in the season and start, and 4 games from now, they say you're being charged. I just thought they would work all of that out, because last I heard, they still haven't worked. You know, they was like, well, he may play, he won't play. Like, I don't even know what the reason was he didn't play this week, but it was in reference to, I think, the Chargers. I'm not sure.
It's going to be
but I wish them all the best, because I've actually seen him play, and wow. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Worth when he's right and together, exceptional player.
Okay, now we're going to talk about what we believe to be the game of the day, which is the Ravens and the Steelers. An excellent game, came down to the end, for sure. What do you think, Gwen?
First of all, I hadn't realized that the Steelers were undefeated, so that piqued my interest anymore. And also, let me digress for like 20 seconds. When did this? Because the Ravens, I feel like, haven't been a football team since maybe the like 90s or mid 80s.
90s.
But I feel like their animosity towards each other is at the level that, even more, if you ask me now, that we were with the Cowboys back in, now. And Lamar seems mediocre this year. I feel like he's missing some pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And even when, like, okay, the end of the game, first of all, they were down 4 points. So I agree with the call to go for the goal, because by kicking the field goal, they still needed 1 more point, so I feel like they did make the right call by going for it, instead of the field goal. They didn't make it though. And then they got the ball back with another minute. So they got the ball twice in 3 minutes, which I thought, oh my God, they still have an opportunity to win. And he comes short. He falls short.
Yeah, and that's what you just said is perfect, because I was going to bring that up. I feel like if I was a Ravens fan, which I respect the Ravens because they're just up the road from us, but if I was a Ravens fan, I would be concerned, because last year in the playoffs, number 1 seed, they go out to the Titans, right? And now this year, this is your perfect test to prove we are the best. We can bring down these Steelers, and you fall short. Not said they did terribly, but it seems like when the rubber meets the road, they fall short. So as a Ravens fan, I would be concerned about that.
A little bit concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So are the Steelers that good, or is Lamar falling off?
Remains to be seen. We will continue.
But they 6-0, 7-0, so they're the only undefeated team now. So that's pretty good. We're gonna do a mid-season recap on our predictions for the Super Bowl. I'm still gonna stick with my original choices, but I am looking at the Steelers like, yeah, I made a mistake.
Yeah. And up next, we're going to talk about the game that went into overtime. The Saints and the Bears came down to the very end of overtime, almost ended in a tie. And what do you have to say about that?
First of all, now I know last week why I said I didn't realize they had that 5-1 record. Actually, it was 5-2, because Foles is their quarterback. And for those who don't know, Foles was the quarterback who took the Eagles, the backup quarterback who took the Eagles to their first Super Bowl victory. So I was very interested. I'm watching the play. I'm still not sold on the Bears only because the Saints always have been a great team. Sean Payton, Drew Brees, that's they're second to Belichick and Brady. Do you agree? Like the coach and the quarterback, not on the level of winning, but their camaraderie, and they seem to work well together.
I agree. And they have a long
history together. Yes. And they have one championship together. Am I correct?
One very close to others.
Yes. So, just a great game.
Yeah. Next up, we're going to talk about Mr. Tua T. That's what we're going to call him. Tua T.
I like that one.
Tua T. Played for Alabama. Got his first start today with the Miami Dolphins, and they won the game. They beat the Rams to me, which is an upset for sure. The Dolphins had really great special teams play today, great defensive plays, and they pulled out the win against the Rams. What did you think about that? Is that an upset?
That wasn't no upset. I picked that game to go. Right. Even though Tua was starting, the Rams looked shaky. And I told you last week, Sean is exposed.
You absolutely.
Whatever his system was over this last off season, they starting to figure him out. Like, these are the plays he run. He does like a Novocaine scheme. Just keep doing the same thing. It'll work. Nah, buddy. You know, I knew. I'm be honest. I didn't think it would be like that, but I didn't think they were going to win. I don't have the Rams going to the playoffs.
Okay, all right, you do not. So
I have them with a win. They made that. They're in the conference with Seattle, 49ers, right?
Yep.
Oh no, they done.
But this year, you know, there's going to be 7 teams now from each side going.
That's right. So they may get that 7th spot. You're right. Thank you, Sabrina. They may, but I knew it. He's exposed. And so is Kyle. Let's get to that in a minute. But Kyle is not. So did the Redskins? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's another discussion.
Exactly.
We're gonna hold that because
But I wasn't. Tua started off rough. For it to be his first NFL appearance, he started off a little rough, but he composed himself and got it together towards the end.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So I kudos to the young man.
He can only get better. You know, he can
only get better. That's right. With time, he'll only get better.
Up next, now we have the Patriots and the Bills. The Patriots, when has it been the last time we could say the Patriots are a hot mess? It's been like a decade or something since the
2000. Can you say 2000? Which means what?
20 years.
Tom Brady.
That's right. And it's so funny. We talked about this last week. We were talking about how much of a genius Bill is, which I still think he is.
But
I
guess Brady was better than I give him credit for. He's not one of my favorite players. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never really liked him.
Same.
But because when he was coming up, there was my man, Peyton, and then you had Phillip, and you had other people that I liked more. Mm-hmm. But, the jury's out on this one. That statement I made last week, that 6th round pick was an anomaly. They really lucked up and got him because they look horrible.
And I understand they lost, one of their key receivers as well and all of that. But this is just showing how important, how integral he was to their success. You had no clue until now he's gone. And it's like, he's probably sitting back in Tampa like,
I thought it was the system. It may not be. I think it was a great how they say the perfect storm. Yeah. Like you had Belichick and you had Brady, and it came together to make one of the best.
I'll call it a dynasty. Would you call it a dynasty?
I would definitely.
It definitely was.
It definitely. I ain't like him.
Right.
I'm glad that my boy Eli got him 2 times.
Twice, yeah.
But
dynasty over. It is
dynasty over.
Yeah, and
the Falk and Joe, they done.
And let's talk about the Bills just very quickly. Just congratulations to them because they're 5-2. I have them 6-2. They are 6-2 very quietly. Congratulations, Buffalo fans, and I hope you all can keep it up.
Doubt
in a minute. So
this may be the first time that. How many times Then you will remember, Sabrina, that the Patriots in the last 20 years
haven't
won their division.
I can't remember. It's so few and far between that it's not even on my radar screen.
I
So
can't.
if you're watching,
they haven't been to the Super Bowl many times, but they've always ended up winning in their division.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just they are, man, they gonna have to get some people hooked. So what you call them, pump charge heart thing, because this is a territory they haven't been familiar with in over 20 years. Like, this is their worst start since 2000.
And this is absolutely a changing of the guard.
Exactly. So the game that I was looking forward to today was the Vikings and the Packers, because I am an Aaron Rodgers super fan. Besides Andy Dalton, my fantasy football, the 3 quarterbacks I always use: Andy Dalton, Phillip Rivers, and Aaron Rodgers.
Phillip Rivers?
So, yeah, because he's a thrower. He does a lot of shuttle passes, and with that you get more points. So you have to know how to quarterback. Between pass and run, his pass ratio is like 3 times his. Because they only had. Long story short, but I was shocked that they lost this game.
Me too.
I feel like Aaron is missing something. His game has not been up to par this year as in previous seasons. I don't know if he's past his prime. I don't know if it's the new coach. I don't know if it's COVID, but I'm really not impressed with him at all this year. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. How can I say all these negative things about this player who has been an exceptional player all these years? I get it. But when he has a reputation of being a deliverer. Mm-hmm. Like Aaron Rodgers, to me, does it better than Brady in that fourth quarter. Like, you cannot count the Packers out if they're down. If they're down by 20 points, they still in it. You know what I mean? So, and he wasn't able to come back today. And the Vikings, Cook ran for like 4 touchdowns. Dalvin,
yeah,
like 4 touchdowns.
220 today.
Lord, I wish I would have had him on my fantasy team today. He had like 4 touchdowns. He ran. I'm like, what is this man? He's making. It's the defense suffering though, because their boy gone. Mm-hmm. Clay's been gone for like 2 years, right? Yeah.
And I'm still not used to that, by the way. I'm still see Clay as a Packer.
Exactly, always and forever for me. But
a good game, Dalvin, today,
Yeah, Dalvin was phenomenal. He was beast mode today.
So whoever had him on their fantasy team, you did well today.
You did exceptional.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
Yep.
And I'm ain't even get 100 yards.
Yes, and Kirk Cousins, our old quarterback. I keep forgetting, Kirk up in Minnesota. Yeah. So him and Dalvin did it today.
They did it today. I have to give him props to Kirk. You're right.
Yeah, good job, too. The next game we're going to highlight is the Titans versus the Bengals. Titans lose their 2nd straight game today.
See, when the Titans were undefeated at that time, you have to look at who they played up until that point. Mm-hmm. And the Bengals are suspects in me. You get what I'm saying?
Burrow had a good game today, though.
Say it again.
Burrow had a good game today, though.
Who? Exactly.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to give y'all some good props.
Well, Sabrina, come on now. The Bengals. Nah. The Titans are super suspects to me. That's why when you told me last week, I had such a shock. Is reaction because now they're showing.
Yeah,
they how my friend said they letting their slip show now.
Oh my!
They went out to the Bengals. Nope.
Yeah.
So that great start they had, we'll see now. That all that suspect now, because you lost to the Bengals. So whatever accolades or accomplishments you done made up until this point, out the window, Holmes.
No. All right, Titans fan too. All right, next up, the Colts beat the Lions today. The Colts, again, 5-2. So many teams are like 5-2 and doing well, and I'm like surprised and shocked. I didn't know. And Phillip Rivers is leading the charge there. So congratulations to the Colts. But my question is, we've been watching the Lions for so many years, just year after year. They have been stuck in mediocrity for so long. What do they have to do? Like, if you're a Lions fan and you're a true Lions fan and you're at least a fan of that someone in that division, what do the Lions have to do to get past that mediocrity? Of course, I don't know if it's Stafford. I don't know if it's the people that they're getting, that they're drafting. I don't know if it's the GM. I don't know. What do the Lions have to do to get past mediocrity? Type your comments, please.
A quick, my opinion, very small, because I had Megatron on my fantasy football team, that's Calvin Johnson for those who didn't know that was his name. And I had to figure out why is he getting so many points, but not their team is not winning. For the points and the stats he was putting up, they could never get past, like you said, mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? Being a mediocre team. And I do believe, Sabrina, it's their draft picks. I think it's coaching. I think they send players away before they can fine tune them to get them up to par. I feel like it's their draft picks because Stafford is a great quarterback. He can put up some great points. You know, there have been times where he has been the top of the passing. His passing yards can exceed 400, just like Tom's and Phillip and Rogers can. But like you said, they can never get past go. Is it the defense? They never have any standout defense players. I think they heavily solely commit to offense, and we all know you can't win without defense.
Defense often wins championships.
Exactly. And the Ravens are a perfect example for that. Their last Super Bowl, that was straight Ray.
Yep.
And the Bulls, straight Ed, Ray, and the Bulls.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
You knew about Flacco, but whatever.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you have some comments about the Lions and what they need to do, please tell us, because I just feel so bad. Like they can just never get it past go. Yeah. Never.
They have to keep passing. And that poor Calvin, he started and finished as a Lion. And I don't think he went to the playoffs twice.
If that.
So yeah.
Next up, the Broncos and the Chargers. The Broncos came from behind and beat the Chargers today. And so many people are just making these comments that the Chargers are becoming like Falcons of the AFC. They're starting to find ways to blow leads. So come on now, Chargers, you got to get it together. Get it together. Keep those leads. Your fans are getting a little restless. Haters are getting restless.
First of all, I don't think they're comfortable without Rivers being on the team. They have to get used to that because the Rivers is now with the Colts. While the Colts are doing so much better.
Yeah.
And then they're going to need a season or two to gel together, you know, because they have to if the quarterback is switched out and gone, and and you have to what's the word I'm trying to say? Build the team around the new quarterback now and get all the pieces together. Gordon is gone, Rivers is gone, and them two work well together, So they need 1 or 2 more seasons before we can really see exactly what's really going on.
Very good point.
And of course, the 2 games that everyone in the betting world, if somebody lost money on these 2 games, but the Chiefs blew out the Jets. The Jets have not been a great team since I can't remember when. I feel like they should just give all their fans a free pass to go into the game. So, and I also feel like it's not a true test for Mahomes. Now, I don't want them to get comfortable, because I really want to see this battle in the AFC. This is going to be a good year. I'm telling you.
What battle do you want to see?
I want to see the Steelers up against the Chiefs. I want to see the Ravens thrown in there. I want to see the Patriots hanging on by the hair, their chinny chin chin. I feel like, I have to be honest, again, the Super Bowl champion probably would come out the AFC. I have to just be honest, but I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Right.
And of course, the other game, it was like a waste of time almost, because you kind of knew. So I really wasn't interested that much, because no way was it just beating the Chiefs on this earth or the next one. So, and look, I almost forgot who the other
Seahawks. The Seahawks beat the 49ers. Yeah.
Now that used to be a great rivalry, but like I said, Kyle and Sean are off their games this year. Their teams are not having the same success as they had when they first came out as rookie coaches.
Yeah.
I feel like their systems are being wrong. And Kyle was always a little suspect to me, but he was still better than Jay. That's why I said what I said last week. I would have took Kyle over Jay any day in my sleep, you know. But, hopefully they'll get it together. Trent is with the 49ers, so you know the line is right. They have a couple of great defensive players. Isn't what's my boy name? I'll think about it later, but they have a good defense, a good defense. So I feel like they'll get it together. Maybe they just need a little bit of time. It's a new world we're in. I never realized how much the fans play a pivotal part with the football players, because in some stadiums they have artificial crowd noise.
Yeah, most stadiums.
Exactly. Now, I was surprised you see all the people in that Ravens stand today.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute, when did we get off stage too?
I know.
But apparently, even they snuck in or something, but
I don't know.
They use artificial crowd noise. So I didn't realize how much of that they need that to concentrate and stuff. So no upsets there. And I'm 100% rooting for Russell this year.
Yeah.
And people might say, but Gwen, you're a Redskin fan, but I'm also a true honest Redskin fan.
And I wish we could talk about that for just a few minutes. Just take a few minutes, because that's going to be a good segue into our next segment.
Got it.
Whenever I go online and see people's comments, when I make comments about how we did, and usually lately it's been kind of bad for many, many years, people will make a comment, oh, you're not a true Redskin fan. I'm like, that's not true. You can call it like it is.
Exactly.
And still be a Redskins fan. I think you can be. Is when you've been a fan this long, you can't help but call it like it is. What do you want us to do? We've had 30 years of frustration. So when we see these things happening, when we see the team falling apart, not living up to their potential, it's frustrating. And just because you call that out doesn't make you a fake fan or a fair weather fan. It means you're frustrated, you're tired. So
but I feel like if you don't call a problem out, it'll never get addressed. The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah.
You have to call it like it is. And we have made some boneheaded calls, moves, plays, choices, drafts,
decisions.
And exactly.
Coaching hires, quarterback switches.
Exactly. It just hasn't been good.
It hasn't. And so that doesn't make us fake fans, because
it doesn't. I think we more are the really true fans, because even with all of that, I can still support my team.
We're still here. We are still here, which leads us into the next segment pretty perfectly. Thank you for bringing that up. We're going to just very quickly recap the Redskins season up to the bye week, which is where we are now. We did not play today. And we started off the season with a big win. We beat the Eagles, and we were like, yes. You know, we were just sized up. We got this. And then weeks and weeks and weeks of losses after losses.
Now, you know, my one loss, and I'm not going to accept.
Which one?
I promise you, Sabrina, at the end of the year, this is going to come back to bite us in the hind parts.
Which one? The Giants?
The game against the Giants.
Yeah.
Even though there is no physical proof that we would have won.
We stood the chance.
Sabrina, the game would have gave us more of an opportunity.
Yep.
And when I go back in my mind and I think about that game, that line was terrible. When are they going to address the issues on the front line?
That's another thing.
You brought up a great question last week when you were talking about why do we get so close, 4 inches we can't get. Man, big as them dudes is, they can push somebody back in. We have no, you know, what's the word I'm trying to say? We have we
no
can't push them.
Surge, yeah.
Yes. Come on now, 4 inches?
Not even 4 inches.
1 yard.
Yes. Yeah.
Now that line is terrible. We ain't getting nowhere till they fix that.
Yeah, and let's talk about that too. And they benched Haskins, and so many people thought he was the problem, which I kind of thought he was a part of the problem. I never thought Haskins was the answer. No offense to Haskins, his family, all of that. I never thought he was the answer. I still don't. But it wasn't all on him, because the line is terrible. Well, not terrible. It needs some work.
The quarterback coach needs to be switched out. Whoever this dude is, switch him out. This boy was just plopped in this. I don't think he had enough. But I'll give him credit. Snyder had enough intuition to go get the offensive coach from Ohio State to come, because he had McLaurin and this is why I say I'm sold on McLaurin and Haskins, because they've been in college football together.
So you like them together?
I do. I love them together. But I feel like Haskins wasn't producing because the line, as you say, number one. Number two, I don't think the boy know the playbook. I'm be honest with you. I was calling plays, or they about to run it, or they, you know what I'm saying, from my seat. I don't think I don't think he's familiar with the playbook. Two, I don't think they didn't give him enough. You could have left him. You know, I always said I'm not in agreement with rookie quarterbacks. I'm just not. Griffin was a different kind of beast. Certain ones are most quarterbacks coming from college football that I'm familiar with are not ready.
Yeah,
they put them
to develop.
The same way they do other fields. I think that when you get these superstars from college, or these Heisman Trophy winners, or these exceptional quarterbacks from college, I think you should, how they say in college, red shirt them. Am I saying it right? And then make them sit out for the whole first year.
Yeah. So
nobody did that, because you're gonna ruin them. We ruined RG3. We did that.
Man, you know, that was the most exciting year we've had.
Oh my, Sabrina.
That year, I thought
Redskin fan, it was bliss.
It was wonderful.
It was a joy I hadn't felt since the Hawks and Mark Mosley, and it was that. And then look, we ran smack into Russell in the playoffs.
Every time we've made the playoffs, which has not been often, it seems like we always run into the Seahawks. I don't know what that is. Every time, but.
I had so much. I started like, okay, I'm gonna go get some season tickets again now.
Yeah, we thought we were on our way. That's what it was. We
can only go up from here. If his first year he made it to the playoffs. So with the second year, I got him going to the division conference.
You
know, then it's like, I mean, to the conference final.
I knew what you meant.
And then look.
And here we are, and Haskins is on the bench. They're talking about whether to shop him out for a trade.
Oh, what?
I listen.
What is going on with this dude?
I don't know.
History for ladies that, if you don't know, Haskins was supposed to come high out of the draft. He was supposed to go first or second. He fell all the way to 15th. You can see the pain in he was crushed in his face. You can see the pain. What's another word I'm trying to think of, Sabrina? He was
disappointed, pain.
Discouraged. And because with his skills, he was supposed to go high. He didn't. He fell to 15th, and we got him. And even with that, I don't think Jay was I think Snyder picked them. I don't think Jay wanted them. There was even some rumblings about that he wasn't Jay's pick. You know, that he wanted the guy that the Giants has, Daniel Jones, right? So now I'm like, what's up with this boy? I'm thinking, oh, now he really goes. So he from the DMV. I'm like, he really gonna show them up now, because
wait, who's from the DMV?
He lived here, Haskins. He lived in Maryland for a good little while. Look that up.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I hope I'm not wrong, but I remember. He should have been. I was like, why was he a Giants fan when he lived in our area? Oh,
I do kind of remember that. Yes.
He always wanted to be with the Giants.
Yes, I remember that. That
Skins, but now he ended up with us, and I feel like they put him out there too fast.
Yeah, and I don't think you mentioned that he wasn't Jay Gruden's choice. I don't think he was Rivera's choice, that he is Rivera's choice either.
Correct.
And at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen, because I don't think any other guys are the answers either. And which brings us to Alex Smith. He got his big, huge comeback. I mean, let's give him those props.
I have to give him props for that, because when that dude, did you see the documentary on that?
Yeah, the 30 years.
He had the bacterial eating flesh disease.
He could have lost his leg. Like,
to me, that leg was gone. All I saw was bone and skin.
And for him to
to
just
take
be out there.
other places, you know what I mean, to make his leg look like a regular leg. So for him to go from there to being back on the field and playing, you gotta give him his props.
You have to.
Of the year already in my book because he did the unexpected and he made that was remarkable.
Remarkable. And every time they even got close to him when he came back, I was like, oh gosh, they're gonna hit him. I was so nervous when he got knocked down.
I was like, ah!
Yeah, goes back to that line. Good gracious. Please.
What's the thing? I don't understand. And maybe I didn't hear, I don't know. Why isn't Alex in?
Why isn't Alex in over Kyle Allen?
Yes.
I don't know if it has something to do with the rehab, you know, with the injury that he had, and they don't want to throw him in too fast. They want him to be a backup. I don't know.
Oh, they can take the time with this dude, but you can't invest the time in Haskins.
I don't think Haskins is
the brain. Nah. Your first round draft pick. If you weren't gonna do nothing with the dude, you shouldn't have drafted the dude.
Agreed. Now that I agree with.
You could have went for some pieces we need. We need a front line. If you were so sure about Alex Smith, you should have went. I said my piece.
All right.
But you can get real nasty fast.
And then the final piece of the final two pieces on our recap of the season so far is that, you know, we just beat the Cowboys, as we talked about last week. That was a wonderful way to go into the bye week. We beat the Cowboys, and as we are taping this right now, the Cowboys are losing in the fourth quarter to the Eagles, and it looks like the game may end that way unless something really drastic happens. So the Cowboys continue to plummet as we celebrate. We are happy about that.
Won't he do it?
Yes, he will.
Yes.
Okay. So that's that. And then also Coach Rivera had his final cancer treatment.
All right.
Yes. Had his final cancer treatment. So let's hope that we're going to hope and pray goes forward strong, healthy, happy, and he can focus on football and his family. So
yes, amen.
Thank God for that.
Thank you.
Thank God for that. And next up, we have our favorite segment, Football for Beginners. And this week, we're going to kind of go off of something that we talked about last week, which was the fact that there are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're broken down into 2 conferences and then 8 divisions. And Gwen is going to talk about one of the conferences today.
The American Football Conference, the AFC. The AFC composed of 4 divisions, like we said. So the AFC East consists of Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots, New York Jets, and Miami Dolphins.
And so, Gwen, who is leading the AFC East at this moment today?
At this moment, believe it or not, the Buffalo Bills are leading the AFC East.
All right.
Now we come to the AFC South, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars, Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee Titans, and the Houston Texans.
Okay, and who's leading that particular division right now?
Believe it or not, I think it's tied with the Colts and the Titans because they lost 2 and the Colts lost 2, right?
I believe so. We have to check that out, guys.
We have to check that out, guys. Then we come to the AFC West. The Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, and Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay, all right. And
we know the Chiefs are leading that one. I know that top of my head.
Yeah. Okay, and who is the last division in the AFC?
The AFC North.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay, and we talked about earlier who's already got the most wins this season, undefeated.
Is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
1. Next up, we're going to explain what offense and defense is. There's 3 parts of each football team. There's offense, defense, and special teams. Today, we're going to focus on offense and defense. Okay, to put it simply, offense is when the team possesses the ball and the quarterback is on the field. So the quarterback, the people who are catching, which are the wide receivers, the person who's running with the ball, or the running back, when they're on the field and have the ball, that's the offense. They're the ones trying to score the points. On the flip side, the defense are the people who are trying to stop the offense from scoring. So the defense's main job is to stop, oppose, push back, prevent the offense from scoring. Offense has the ball trying to score, defense trying to stop. Okay, and that leads us to our pretty much final segment for the day. We are going to talk about who our offensive and defensive GOATs are. Well, what in the world is a GOAT?
Well, thanks for asking, Sabrina. A GOAT simply is abbreviation for greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time. Yes.
So I have thought about this question long and hard over a couple of years, and it changes from year to year sometimes. But lately, I've had the same defensive player since the 80s, but my offensive player has changed. So let's start with the easy one, my defensive player all times. My favorite, my choice for the GOAT of all time from defense is Lawrence Taylor.
What you got to take my answer?
He's a linebacker for the New York Giants. He was the best I had ever seen. When we played them, you basically held your breath.
Yes, be prepared at all times.
From every angle.
Yeah.
He shut down the run. He shut down the pass. Mm-hmm. He shut the team down.
And he ended Mr. Joe Theismann's career. And if you're not familiar with that play, it's a little gruesome, but go and look it up. Lawrence Taylor and Joe Theismann and how he ended his career. It's pretty bad, but
pretty bad break.
Yeah.
But that's my choice for if I had a strong runner up. I'm on the fence with Ray, and then third, I like Von Miller.
Okay, and Von is still playing.
So, yeah, he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer.
I agree. So we have the same defensive GOATs.
Do you like Lawrence Taylor too, Sabrina?
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor would have been mine too.
You go wrong. I mean, you gotta pick him.
Yeah, absolutely do. And of course, there's so many players.
Other players are good, but to carry a whole team.
All right, so let's switch it up now. We're going to go to our offensive GOAT. Greatest of all time. I get more
slack from this person than from anyone else, and I have a theory behind why I choose him as my GOAT.
Okay.
Please listen carefully. My offensive GOAT of all times is Peyton Manning, and only for this one reason. Name any other quarterback that has won the Super Bowl with two or more teams. Getting to the Super Bowl alone with one team is hard enough in itself.
Right.
But to go with two different teams and win, no one else has done it but him. Now, don't get me wrong. Those out there would say Peyton Manning has the most. Tom Brady has the most Super Bowl wins. Well, if you put the same team, the same people, you can work that thing like Novocaine, like we already explained earlier.
Yeah.
To do it on two separate teams and win both times, you got to give it to him. I have to give it to him at least.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is one where we differ because my GOAT for sure on offense has to be the incomparable Jerry Rice. Absolutely. His records, I believe all of his records, if either most or all of his records still stand.
Yeah.
In terms of receiving yards, touchdown catches. So many players, even today, the young guys today know who he is, look up to him, want to achieve to his greatness.
That's
so unequivocally for me, it is Mr. Jerry Rice. Hats off to him.
But I feel like, Sabrina, and I'm not coming at your GOAT.
Come on with it.
I feel like Montana had a play in that. Like Manning did it for himself. He was the what you call the person.
The
leader. I feel like
whoever.
Yes, I feel like
my thing is he didn't throw the ball to himself. He didn't protect himself.
Now there you go.
So anyway, You can't make a wrong.
That's a good one. I ain't never think about Sabrina. You right. I think a lot of his records are still uncontested. Yeah.
I know for sure his touchdown catches and his yards, receiving yards. I believe those two still stand. The other ones, I don't know. But
yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna think about that one, baby. I want to do one more thing, then we can go.
Sure.
So my major hiccup for the week would be the Los Angeles Rams.
The team
I expected them to be way better than they are at this point, based on what they did last year, going all the way to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I honestly want a trifecta because it hasn't happened in a long time. Okay. The Lakers are ready. The Dodgers are ready. The people of LA will lose their mind if the Rams.
That is a good point.
Won't happen, but I was looking for a trifecta.
That would have been awesome for them.
I was like, wouldn't it be perfect? We haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah. Has there ever been a trifecta?
Now that's what I'm gonna look up to make sure. I'm pretty sure it has because the word has been used before. I bet we wasn't born when it happened.
Right. Because I can't remember any time where the baseball team happens. Yeah, the baseball team, the basketball team, and
or the hockey or football. It's three of the three of the major sports in the city.
Right. Well, my hiccup for the week is the Packers. I didn't expect them to lose to the 1-5 Vikings for sure. Yeah. So if we're just going with this week, I'm going with the Packers. But for sure this season, I would hope that the Rams would have been a little further along. So they're doing bad. I mean, they're doing a lot better than our team right now. So I can't say too much.
Yeah, we were to talk, but at the same time, if we're going to do this, we have to be honest. Yeah. Well, ladies, we've come to the end of our second official session of Spicy Hills. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to your positive, constructive comments.
Yes.
And we look forward to seeing you next week. Stay blessed, safe, and love everyone.